another episode of Absolutely Long Island Happy Hour Friday.
Yay. To all my friends! Hey! We made it through another week.
So we hope you had a chance to see our telethon. But if not, there's still time to watch and there's still time to subscribe. So anyway, today we are going to talk about surprising things that can derail a relationship. So normally you think somebody lying to the other person, cheating, things like that, but believe it or not, it's just as likely, as you have found out, that kids or pets could derail a relationship.
Never! No monkey business now. I mean business. Keep 'em up there.
Now you wouldn't think that would happen,
right?
But from first-hand experience, you've had both. You've had your cats,
yes,
your dogs,
yes,
and you've had your kids.
Yes, I've had everything.
All cause problems.
Everything worked against me, basically. It's like people want you to be alone, just waiting in the wings for them.
Right.
It's nice.
With nothing that they don't like, everything has to be perfect. It's, you know,
like just a closet, basically. You come in, it's just you. That's the only package they want.
Right. They don't want any baggage whatsoever.
Anything that comes with it.
Right, and everything is baggage. Kids.
Well,
animals.
when you're older, most people have kids.
Right.
Or animals or something.
Something.
You know, people aren't really, unless you're going after people in a home.
I don't have a cold. I do this all the time. I have postnasal drip, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. You know, people over 50 years old, they have something.
Right, or the weird ones. Never married, no kids, you know, living in a basement somewhere, like completely defective. Like, never even got, you know, past whatever, you know, the high school dating.
Right, they're still listening to 45s on...
Yeah, yeah.
So talk about your kids. Now, I know that, and you're starting to go through this again.
Right.
Now, your kids are pretty wild. And they were wild, and now they're wild. They're wild in a different way, but they ruined a relationship for you when they were wild twin boys at 4.
They ruined a couple of relationships.
Yeah,
a couple.
A couple, that's true.
You know, many relationships. You know, I love you, you're great, your kids are an issue. And sometimes they were an issue because they thought that they were, what was the word?
Rambunctious?
Rambunctious.
Well, yeah.
Or sometimes they just felt that they would cause issue down the road because I couldn't, you know, travel at a whim and pack my bags and off to Cabo and off, you know, which no one even does anyway.
Yeah, who does that?
You know, who does that? Oh, you want to go to Paris for the weekend? Sure, I'll pack my bag, you know, that sort of thing. I have no cats to deal with, no dog sitter to get, no kids to give to the ex-husband. I'll just get on the plane with you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what men want. Footloose, fancy-free. You know, that's causing an issue, and now I'm back with someone who had dumped me 8 years ago.
Can you give us a hand? No, we're gonna get it. Is that a body? Yes. Jesus! Right. Good.
Because of the kids, they were 4 at the time, now they're going to be 12. So it's definitely a different dynamic for them.
Right.
But they still are kids, and they fight, and then sometimes they have a fresh mouth. And, you know, so they've been warned, like, you know, within an inch of their life.
Don't you ever talk that way to me. Never! Never!
Because my friend, boyfriend, whatever, is going to be spending the weekend with us, you know, coming up. So I'm on pins and needles because I don't want another trouble because, you know, I'm trying to get rid of them a little bit as best I can. You know, go on your friend's boat.
So do you And the problem we argue with, and hopefully our subscribers out there could lend a comment to this as well, is I'm more of the, well, this is the package, take it. If you don't like dogs, and I have 2 very large dogs, I don't believe in the hiding them. I'd rather get it out in the open and go from there. But you have a little bit of a different plan.
A little bit. I mean, you know, in my dating profiles, I do put down that I have children and we're a package deal.
Remarkable.
You know, so if
Right.
you don't want children in your life, pass my profile up. I do say that.
Right.
But every man always says, oh, I love kids.
No, you're hurting me! No!
Oh, my kids are grown, they're in college, you know. I miss those days when I was taking them, you know, to the football game at 7 a.m. on a, you know, on a Saturday morning when you just want to put a bullet in your head. You know what I'm saying? Because I sure did. You know, I still do.
I don't believe it. I don't think that's true.
You know, so they think that they lie.
Do
So
they
I
think they're going to relive their youth? You know what the thing is,
lie
when
to
you
them.
think you're going to relive your youth, when you're 30 and you get up at 7 o'clock to go to a soccer game, it's very different than 50 getting up at 7 o'clock to go to a soccer game.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain.
Exactly.
So they think they want to relive their youth,
But they don't.
but you want to relive your youth if you had your youth.
Right. And then all of a
You
sudden,
know.
like, the nightmare of their own kids surfaces again. And then it's bad for them.
And it's bad for
So
them.
I've had that.
So are you
know?
going to now, like, have like put them in the shed or something for like the weekend? Or what?
Well, you know, I'm encouraging them to go on, you know, their friend's boat, big time. You know, I'll pay the guy the gas, which I think is like $300 for the day. It's a very large boat. Anything, you know, I may pawn them off on you.
Oh, thank
at
you.
a certain point. But, you know, they've been, you know, they have the riot act many, many times. No cursing, no fighting, sitting up at the table, this, that, and the other thing, talking, engaging with someone. But you know what? When you have a guy and you're reeling them in like a fish, you know, if you all of a sudden blurt out everything like maybe you want to do,
it's
all
like
of a
when the
sudden,
fishing line goes out,
breaks.
and it just goes, and it
they're
just
done.
goes, and you hear it going
and
out
they're
like
done.
that.
But me, I feel like you have to get them like in the ether, like in the web. You know, so I remember my ex, whenever I wanted something, he'd be like, why are you being so nice to me? And I used to say really nice things to him, like, you know, once a year, like around Valentine's Day. And then he'd be like, oh, you're spinning one of your webs. What do you want? How much is this going to cost me? Kind of thing. But, like, I kind of feel that, like, if you're kind of reeling them in
Is it bleeding? No.
in the net and you're trying to get the fish and then you drop a bomb on them, it's over. But you got to get them in the net.
First.
Then you can drop the bomb.
So-
Then they can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like they're stuck in the net. And then you just scoop
You
them
don't
in the
think
net.
they have a little like Swiss Army knife
No.
or cutter to get out of the net at that
Well,
point?
you know what? If they're young, yes. The older they get, the knife gets duller and duller and duller, so they really can't escape. You know,
So they're kind of stuck in this
they're
web
kind of
and
stuck,
like
and
they're
they're
mangled.
like, well, you know, it could be a lot worse, and then everything
And that
is
goes right.
hunky dory.
Okay.
So that's
so
kind of
that's
what
so
it is.
that's kids. Now,
Yeah.
also, if you didn't have kids, I know one of your boyfriends absolutely hated this, and I kind of find it a little bit disgusting myself, but you have cats,
Right.
and they like to eat their food on the kitchen island.
Right, because I used to have dogs before I had to put them down, and the dogs would go after their food.
Right.
So it didn't start out like I wanted to feed the cats on the counter. It just became the fact that the dogs couldn't jump up to the counter, and so I started feeding them away from the pugs.
Right.
So that's kind of like how it happened. And I had a boyfriend once. I think the second time we went out, he flipped out. Like he's like,
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
couldn't wrap his head around it, and told everyone that he knows how disgusting I am because I have my cats
Eat on the counter.
on the
And
counter.
the reason why
Yeah.
it's disgusting, and not to be like point counterpoint here, is because unlike a small dog or something like that, cats are in their cat litter with their claws. And so they're touching stuff that you don't want on the counter, even if you clean the counter. You just don't want that bacteria to get near anything that's on the counter.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
So what are you going to do now if somebody objects to this? Now, kids, you can't really hide kids.
Gee, look at the frog on the wall.
And you really can't hide cats except for the one cat.
Who hides herself.
So,
yeah.
do you lock them away until somebody's in the ether?
Well, I do lock them out of the bedroom. Like if someone is spending the night with me. I mean, this particular man is going on the couch because I have kids, whatever. But if there was a bedroom situation going on, which there had been in the past, obviously, and if they're not a huge animal lover, I shut the door and the cats are not in the bed at least. But I mean, my friend is dating a man who had 6 cats, who used to have 7. So, some people just really adore cats. It's kind of like a potato chip. You have one and then another, and one has ridges and one is plain, and you got the domestic short hair, the domestic long hair, the Maine Coon. So it's like a little, it's like a potato chip. You can't stop.
But there are people that animals can be a big thing for them.
Yeah, they don't want it.
They don't want anything at all. So I think it's good what you're doing on your profile, and I think people out there definitely, I think, put it on your profile. I think it should be more upfront, but I understand that maybe you feel that they'll get used to it eventually.
I think they will. I mean, I say in my profile, must love animals, must love children. And if not, just pass me by. There's plenty of women on the dating sites who don't have any kids. I mean, my age, I'm 56. Not a lot of 56-year-old women have 12-year-old children. So just pass me by. Just go to somebody else if you don't like animals. I mean, I'm more about the person. I'm not really about all these little nuances that may get under someone's skin. And at the end of the day, it's, are you compatible? Do you want to be with this person or not? And if the answer is yes, then you deal with all of these things. I mean, sometimes women hate men for ridiculous things. He doesn't take the trash out. He doesn't put the toilet seat down. Or, like my ex-husband used to spit in the sink after he was brushing his teeth and leave it like that. And
that would drive me crazy. I hate that.
Yeah, and never clean out, the white stuff in the sink. Some people want to kill somebody for that.
I'd rather wake up with animal hair in my underwear than have toothpaste in a sink.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
To me, that is more than disgusting, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if they don't flush the toilet or something like that.
Oh, yeah, there were many
I'd rather
times
have a cat on my face like this.
Yeah, there were many times that he left me a present, my ex-husband. In fact, he was out here yesterday and he had to use my bathroom.
Oh no!
So I said,
Did you?
Well, I said number 1 or number 2. I really did. He goes, does it matter? I said, it certainly does matter. 1 or 2. And he just wouldn't tell me. And then he went into the bathroom, did his business. Whatnot. I said, go in the bathroom with the cat litter because that's how you should go. Then he came out and I go, did you flush?
What?
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah!
I mean, the same stuff I did when we were married because it's like talking to a 2-year-old. It's weird. Every time he comes to my house, he has to use the facilities every single time.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I got a very nasty present, if you know what I mean.
Hi, Georgie.
And I'm like, you didn't flush the toilet bowl. I didn't.
See, that for me is a relationship breaker more than an animal or kids or anything like that. Although kids could break it, I mean, if they torture you.
Yeah.
I had a friend whose relationship broke up because of kids. And they were going to get married, they were engaged, and they were happy, and the kids broke it up.
Yeah.
So I think it is a real issue for some people.
It definitely is. Yeah.
But I guess our advice to everybody is be upfront on your profile, right? Mm-hmm. And then if somehow they really are not good at reading.
Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in? Abby someone. Abby someone. Abby who? Abby normal.
And they pass the profile and then they still don't like kids, you know, you build a closet, build a little area, keep them away. Is that the thought until they're more into the relationship?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think if a man likes you, he'll put up with a lot of things. And I've seen it with other friends. Like, I have some friends, I don't know how their husband is still with them based upon the behavior and what I hear, but they're with them forever, it's their life, it's all they know. So, you know, eventually, I guess they'll get used to it. But, you know, I don't hide them, you know. So, you know, I'm hoping for the best. And if not, like I said, if
There's always liquor. There's always
Yeah.
liquor for
well,
you.
there is, and
Yeah.
this person's having a birthday. I bought a ginormous bottle of scotch today at the liquor store. So, you know, liquor up.
Put a little in the coffee in the morning, they don't realize what's going on.
Yeah, they won't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
no.
They'll be like 2 kids, 3 kids, 1 kid that can't even see. You know, get them completely inebriated. And it'll be a good weekend, I think.
Well,
You
we
know?
hope you have a good weekend.
Yes.
And we'll let you know what happens. And take care. We'll see you on another episode.
And subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe.